Hello, Instagram. So nice to see you. I wonder if I can get you closer to me, actually. Why didn't I do this before? Who knows? Hi, Rebecca. Hello. Hi, Marsha. So good to see you. I'm trying to move you a little bit closer. Hang on. Hello. We have so many people joining, which is very exciting. Perfect. Hi from the UK. Hello. It's good for, I'm glad that I'm a little bit earlier today, which is great. Oh, I have something missing from my shelf. What did I have up there before? Not sure. Anyway, I am really excited to be here. Let me just start my Facebook stream. Hi, Diane. Amazing. Let's do Facebook now. Am I straight? Hello, I'm live on Facebook. Hi, everyone. Hello from Oregon, Chicago, Bendigo. Is that Bendigo, Australia? I feel like Bendigo might be a name that's in a lot of different countries. I don't know why, but I just do. All right. I'm very excited to be here today. I have a lot to share with you, and this is going to be a fun live because it's going to be a lot more demonstrating. So I'm going to be demonstrating a bit, and I'm going to be showing you a lot of things and as much wisdom as I can. Hi, Tressler. Hi, Kat. And I've got a very special guest with me today, and I need help with a name. I have a few ideas, and I need help. So let me introduce you to my special guest that's joining me today. This is, well, she's at present, she's unnamed, but I'm thinking, what was I thinking before? I don't know, maybe like Susan or Janice, or taking suggestions for the name of my creepy little friend here that's joining me on today's live. And so, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more demonstrating with my friend, which will be really fun and a bit interesting because I haven't done anything like that before. So lots to show you. This is a launch live stream, and I've given away a lot of different hints, a lot of Stella names coming through on Instagram. Rosie for my friend. That's kind of scary. I agree. Okay, so hi Vicky, hi Amy, hi Sharon, hi Mary. Hello from the east coast of Tasmania. I have to get back to Tasmania sometime soon. Okay, so like I said, this is a live launch where I'm going to be walking you through many of the new things that we have today. And it isn't just colors. It isn't just, these are functional tools. And like I said, the hints were, and I know a lot of you guessed them. Like I said, I think I gave away a little bit more than I had originally intended. And so I want to jump straight into it. And I want to start with a color. A color that I feel needs no introduction. And that color is, and you guessed it, a lot of you guessed it, it is our most incredible purple prism shade. So this here is the light purple prism, which is now available in a full size pot on our website. When I tell you that the reason we have launched this color today is because we have heard you and you have been loud. So this was one of our mystery sample sachets, and it just made waves, true waves. And I'm very much expecting this to sell out. So it is online now. So if you want to grab it and you wanted your purple prism for yourself, it is now available on our website. I just want to open this up, see if I can get a bit more color. There we go, Instagram, look at that. Yes, I've dyed my hair. Thank you, Diane. So purple prism is now available on our website. Let me give you, I'll see if I can hold this and show you at the same time. So we have that online. And like I said, this is the People's Choice color. We should have named it that after, but yes, it's purple. So it is the most beautiful holographic, absolutely stunning shade. But the thing about this color is when I look down on it like this, it is like greens and golds, and when I look at it like this, it's blues and lavenders. It changes color no matter the way that you look at it, and I think this is a shade that every single person needs. The other thing about Purple Prism, it is fantastic for layering. So you may have seen, if you were here on my live stream the other day, that I actually did layer Purple Prism over. This is just one coat on the cream sustainables, which I'll talk to you about as well. And I have a very sad empty thumb, which we're going to explain soon. But if you want to get Purple Prism in your full pot, it is available online now. You can use it as a glaze. So I used it as a glaze. I still have one thumb left. Can you see it there? I used it as a glaze on guava on my live stream on Friday slash Saturday. So if you were on my live stream on Saturday and you would have seen my entire hand, that one has guava and then Purple Prism on top. But like I said, we now have a Purple Prism, the light version, available in full size. And please turn up your brightness if you want to see the true beauty of this shade. But it is absolutely stunning. So that is the People's Choice Award for today. The second product that we are launching today is something that you would know about if you were here in the early days. This is a product that I believe, and I didn't check the exact date, but I believe we haven't sold for about 3 years. But so many people have requested it. So Purple Prism should be at the top of the nail powders page on the website. So if it isn't there yet, it's going to be up soon and it will be available. And I think the dispatch date is in about a week. I think it's on like an early order, but you should have the date of your country and warehouse based on what, if you look on your website. So like I said, this product here is one that we haven't had in the range for nearly 3 years, and it has been so heavily requested. So many people have been asking us to bring it back, and there are so many different functions of this product that you can use to apply your Sistaco powder. So essentially, this is it here. Does anyone remember? I'd love to hear who remembers us actually having this in the beginning. The color has changed slightly. This is called Precision Edge. Now, what Precision Edge is, it's a very multifunctional, but essentially, and I'm going to do a little bit of what it is it actually is a latex-free, completely latex-free, because we know that sometimes people have latex allergies, latex-free that goes around the edges of your nail, okay? So it goes around, and then we need to have, oh, my Facebook is telling me it's trying to reconnect, hang on. Can you see me? Everyone can see me? So basically, like I said, it's completely latex free, but it has 2 tips. So you can see here, it has the fine tip and it has the wide tip. So this is a 2-in-1 bottle. So what the fine tip looks like, let me show you. It looks very fine, like so. And you're going to actually apply it around the nail. Now, I love the fine tip because you can get right into the edges. Let's do a little bit of a demonstration. And like I said, I have left my thumb bare and not done anything with it so that I thought we could do like a Purple Prism live demonstration. Everyone loved the Precision Edge and we're so happy to have it back now in the range. And again, this is something that was heavily requested. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna do a demo. We're gonna start by just taking out our wide tip. Now I like to use the wide tip when I'm doing just a really big space around my nails. And then what I do is I use the fine tip for the other parts. Now, the other thing about Precision Edge is you can actually use it underneath your nail. So if you're doing capping, this will actually help you as well. So if you're running the brush along that free edge, you can actually use Precision Edge to actually go underneath your nail as well. Like so, okay? So you can see it there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it here and I'm going to actually and I want to see if I can hopefully get this. Yes, completely latex free. You are going to actually just apply this in a liberal sense. So I do a little bit of dipping in a liberal way around your entire nail like so. And you don't have to be really specific about where it goes. I hope that you can see what I'm doing here. And all the way around the edge of my nail. Now, all I have to do if I want it to come off really well is just make sure that it's all connected so it can kind of blend into itself. And if you want to do a second coat, feel free. Obviously, the thicker you do it, the longer it'll take to dry. But again, what I suggest is to do all your nails at once with this, and then at the end you remove it, right? So it's going to be like this. And if there was places, and sometimes there are, if there was places where I was like, oh, this is like a really fine part of the nail and I really want to get in there, but I don't want to touch my nail. Yes, it's got 2 different brush sizes, exactly. So the top one, they're labeled, so fine tip, wide tip. So I'm going to take out my fine tip and I'm like, okay, I've got this really small brush to work with and I'm actually going to be able to get right into the edges. So let's say there's a part where I'm like, oh, I've just missed that, but I don't want to go in with that wide tip again. I get to go in with my fine tip and apply that around. So if you are working with your non-dominant hand, maybe this is something, and it's available, like I said, on the website, and they have different shipping dates. Maybe there's a little edge, like I'm doing this tiny little edge here, and I'm using my fine tip. And if I want to, I can go in with my wide tip. Now we've made it colored, so it's easy for you to see. Let me show you on Instagram. And basically, like I said now, all you're going to be able to do is just wait for that to dry. So we're going to start with our application, essentially. This air dries, so you want to keep the lid nice and tight on your bottle. And basically once it's dry, then we're going to peel it off and it's going to take away any of that excess powder around the edges. So absolutely game-changing product and one that was so popular when we had it back in, what was it, 2021, I believe, or 2022. Because of the fine and wide tip, it really is so easy to use. Like I said, if you're using smaller nails, if you're doing smaller nails, you can be like, oh, and some people just use the fine tip. They don't need to use the wide tip. Some people just use the wide tip depending, but it's really cool that you can actually pack it in and then go, no, I want much more coverage for what I'm doing here, and grab out your wide tip brush. And like I said, again, just painting that round. I'm going to do 2 for you to show you. And I'm going in with my wide tip here. And obviously this nail is already done, but I'm going to show you how it actually applies. And if you see any get onto your nail, that's totally fine. Just take it off prior to you actually finishing, like doing your application. But that's why I do suggest for those closer parts towards your nail to use your wide tip. So that'll look like this around your nail. And then, like I said, once it dries, no smell whatsoever. Someone just asked. Absolutely not. So there's no smell to this. So it's amazing. Latex free, like I said. So how many manicures would it last? It would last a lot of manicures. I wouldn't say, I mean, obviously it's going to depend on how thick you use it. If you just use the fine tip a lot and you find that that's fine, you have like maybe smaller nail size, or you find it easier to use the fine tip, you're obviously going to get really a lot of use out of this, and just dip that back in. But I just love, isn't that so funky that we have those 2 tips that you can use depending on what you're trying to achieve. So again, maybe if you're doing underneath your nail, at the front where you want to do your capping, you use the fine tip and you just run that along like so. You can choose to do this or use this however you like. So that is our precision edge. We are so excited for this to be back. Like I said, heavily requested. Everyone loved this product when we had it previously, and people constantly asking us to bring it back, and now we have done it. So Precision Edge is available on the website. Someone asked, will that be a change or have an effect under the light? No, it's not relevant to the light. It's purely air dry. So when it sees the air, it's actually going to dry. And you can actually see that this one now, it kind of goes, it looks wet and then it sort of changes and then doesn't look wet anymore. And if I show you on this nail, my plain nail, you'll see that actually is now drying. It's really quick dry. But what I want to do is I want to do an application. So let's jump into that, because then I can show you what it looks like actually taking the powder off. So I'm going to do what I never typically would do in a live, and that's it. I'm going to do a messy application. So let's do some messiness, because I'm going to do this on purpose to show you how the powder is just going to lift straight off. So I'm going to do Purple Prism, which is this color here that we have just launched today, is now available in full size, something that went from small to large on our website. So excited to have this color in stock. And like I said, you can use this for layering, which is amazing. That isn't all I'm showing you today. So please wait, because when I show you our next product, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to be a game changer for removal. It is really incredible, and I'm going to do a lot of demoing. Okay, so what were we doing? Oh yes, that's right. I'd already forgotten. So I'm just going to do a short wear application, if you know what that is. So I'm just going to be applying my Purple Prism onto a top coat because of the fact that we are doing this live demo and I don't need it to last me ages. But obviously you know that when you do your long wear application, you want to actually be doing that on a base coat. So you apply your base coat, then your top coat, and we're going to jump in with our stunning, I've got like a little nail here, our stunning Purple Prism powder. So very, very cool. Okay, so taking my powder, and I've got popped my, see if I can pull this forward. I don't know how long this cable is. Oh yeah, there we go. You can kind of see. So I've got my thumb now under the lamp, and like I said, I'm going to be doing a messy application. I'm going to be putting Purple Prism over my nail because of the fact that I'm going to use my Precision Edge, which is on our website now, and I use the fine tip and the wide tip to actually apply. So, Boysenberry and new Purple Prism, a dark Purple Prism. Oh, possibly. I think you could definitely, this Purple Prism over Boysenberry would be a color that I absolutely would love to see. I have every single color here as well that we have in our range behind me, so we can play around with some stuff a little bit later, and maybe we'll give that one a go on, did we decide a name? Is it Sally? Is it Susan? Is it Janice? Is it, maybe we'll give it a go on my, my little fun hand. If you missed it, I brought a friend, okay? It's time for me to have, you know, some extra ways of working. Okay, so, set. And let's jump into our messy Purple Prism application so I can show you just how effective this is. All right, so I'm taking my powder, dipping it in my applicator like so. So this is, like I said, the Purple Prism. And I'm going to actually just rub. If you haven't seen how Sistaco is applied before, like I said, I'm being messy. I'm not worrying about what I'm doing. And to be honest, you can kind of do this anyway. But I'm just going all around and everything like that and getting it as everywhere as I can. So you can kind of see that it's gone shiny around my nail. So I'm just going to, like I said, cover my Precision Edge with that powder. And that is my application, okay? So this is, like I said, Purple Prism, the color we have just released today. Just see if I can get a bit more light on this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull this light and everything's gonna fall over. No, great success. Okay, so Purple Prism, like so. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with my top coat. Yes, I like that. Hannah the Helping Hand. Hannah is a good one. Needs a rhyme as well. Okay, going in with my top coat. So I'll remove this at the end of my full application. I think that would be what is best. So I'm going in with my top coat and I'm actually going to apply that over my Purple Prism. Like I said, I've doing the messy things to try and showcase this. Popping it back under the lamp and it's going to be completely set. Yeah, the color truly is amazing. All right, so I've got some questions coming in. Mandy, that rhymes with Handy. Mandy, Hannah. Okay, Handy Andy. Okay, we've got a couple of votes for Hannah. What do we think? Hannah? Handy Mandy? I quite like that. Handy Helen. Okay. All right. I'll put the, I'll see how, I'm going to sit with it for 20 minutes and then I'm going to see how I'm feeling. I'm running them all over in my head. Okay. Oh, Handy Mandy or whatever it is falling off actually. So hang on. I've got it like in a drawer and the drawer's like sticking out, so it's a bit weird. Okay, wait, did I finish that? I can't remember. Okay, so then we're just going to actually, thank you for bringing out Purple Prism. Now I can't whine anymore. I love that. We love that. Okay, so it's dry, my Purple Prism is dry, and then I'm going to jump in with taking off my, so I'm going to grab it. Again, you don't have to be, if you want to use tweezers for this, you can do that, but I'm actually going to just do it on my own. So I'm going to grab the edge and it comes up really, when I tell you the amount of time we took to make this, like we had like samples all over the place and we were sitting down and we were like, oh no, this one doesn't peel off right, this one doesn't peel off, and changing the consistency and the formulation again and again. So you can see, I'll try and show Instagram as well. You can see that I just pinched that and it was a very light pinch and it has come away straight away from my nail, okay? So then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just keep pulling. So I want to try and show you, if I can, just how easy this is actually coming away. And remember, we had all that purple Prism powder that was all over the edges there. And then we're just going to continue. And look at that. It's coming off like a proper sticker. And keep going. And now we are left. And it's going under. Can you see? As long as you connect it, it'll keep going all the way. And it's going under. If I've done any like capping or any, and that is what you are left with. So it comes off fully. And then if you look at my nail, you have a beautiful clean edge. So you remember what it was like? A stunning clean edge. It's taken away any of that extra. You can see the powder all over it. Oh, I dropped it. Hang on. It's taken the powder all away. And that is how Purple Prism. That is how our precision edge works. So if I've done all my nails, I did this one as well, didn't I? I didn't actually put anything on this, but same thing. So I'm gonna pick it up. I like to do it nice and thick. So again, I'm showing you, I'm picking it up and it just glides off. And look at that. It's come off in one piece just by drying, but was completely wet before. And it is so cool. So if you want this and you want to use it, you've got to jump on the website. It is that easy, and that is latex free, like I said, and so simple for doing any of your nails. And that is my thumb finally part of the family. Okay, so that is Precision Edge. That is Purple Prism. You can see it on my nails. And now I'm going to jump in to our next new launch, which is one that, like I said, I promised you removal. I promised you ease of removal. I promised you a lot of different things in my last live stream. And I'm ready to show you our new product, which let's start with the preface of this. What I wanted to do, or what we wanted to do, I should say, when we designed this product is give you something. What we were finding is that a lot of customers were coming to us and they're saying like, you know, that they want help with removal. And so we have designed this product to be exactly that. Now, when you do your removal, one thing that is really important is actually taking off your top coat. And what I find, and what we found, is sometimes taking off your top coat with a traditional file, you think that you've taken it all and you've got to the color, but unfortunately the file has just made it kind of mattified, which can be a bit confusing for the naked eye. And so what we have done is we have designed and developed a product that is not only very easy to help you with removal. I'm going to walk you through all of the steps, and I'm going to talk to you about sustainable nail removal as well, but also does other functions as well, more to do with doing your own manicure at home. So caring for your cuticles, providing a great, and it helps with longevity. So without further, delay, I am going to introduce you to the new and beautiful Sistaco wireless e-file. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, that looks really scary. How do I use this? And how am I going to ensure that I don't damage my nails? And that's why I really want everyone to pay a lot of attention to what I'm going to go through in the next little while, because I'm going to go through all of the reasons why you can use this successfully at home and the different steps we've taken to ensure that. So, like I said, let's start chatting about removal. Firstly, obviously this is the cutest thing ever, and it has a little plug that goes in the side for charging it, and it is completely portable and cordless, okay? So you can use it on the go, take it anywhere with you, and also you don't have to worry about wires and things like that, right? So this is our new amazing e-file. But like I said, it has multiple different heads that all have different functionality. And I'm going to show you how to use every single one and what it's used for. Some of them are for the manicure, some of them are for preparing your nails and will help you with longevity like you've never seen before, and going through a lot of the issues that you may be experiencing. So for instance, if you're finding that you're getting lifting from the base, this is going to help you with that, etc. etc. It is USB, completely USB rechargeable, so plug it into your laptop, etc. So yes, exactly. So when someone says, as long as it doesn't damage, that's what I'm going to show you. And we have actually, so let me start with some of the things that we've done. The first thing that we've done is we have made this very low to begin with. And there's different settings. And when I say low, I mean the what's called RPM. So the rotation, we have started you on a really beginner level, very low, lower than industry standard. The other thing is as well, with this different head, now this head here, I'm trying to think of the best way to run this through. Let's start with removal. So this head here, we've put a red band on it, red for removal, okay? So this is the one you use for removal. Everything else is not for removal, okay? So red for removal. Now, there are different settings on this. And like I said, so let me turn it on. Okay, and it's completely like silent, which I love as well. It's not loud or anything. So it's on now. You can probably hear it very faintly. And you can see on the screen, it has a little L. So L means low. So it's got L, it's got M, and it's got low, medium, high. And that's just by pressing this button here. Now I'm on medium, and pressing again, now I'm on high. Now, the low that we have created with this is sort of like a bit of a training. We've made it really low so you can allow yourself to slowly get comfortable with using it and training yourself on how to use it. Like I said, the thing with the removal tip, and just so you know, you can touch this at any time, completely fine. It's like a soft, it's not rough. And this has a fully ceramic head. Now, the reason we have a ceramic head and not a metal head is because ceramic actually doesn't create heat. So that is why we went with a ceramic option. And like I said, the low is the lowest that you will find purely because of the fact that we want you to learn how to use it and start to slowly work through the different heads and the different ways to use them. So it is adjustable. Okay, so starting with our removal, let's discuss that. Let me turn it off as well so you can hear me. So talking about removal. Like I said before, what we tend to find is sometimes people don't remove the top coat in the way they should. The thing about this, and when people say they're concerned about their natural nails when using an e-file, is it's all about education. This actually never touches your natural nail, okay? So I'm saying that because you are using this head to actually get through the top coat to the color, and then you just jump in with your, sorry, handy Mandy over here is just giving me a knock. Then you jump in with your erase pads, okay? And you pop them on your nails. But what's going to happen is the erase pads are going to be 10 times more effective because you can confirm with your e-file. First of all, it's so quick as well to do, which I love. Whereas I, prior to this, was using like my manual file to take off my top coat like we all were. But this is basically going to just and then you get to jump in with your erase pads. So like I said, very, very important. We are not saying to use this to remove your entire Sistaco mani, but I told you that I was going to actually tell you about sustainable nails, and I'm going to do that. So before I jump into a demo of this, let's talk sustainable nails for a second. Very much so, your sustainable nails are like a one-time, or not a one-time, but like if you color them, you can color over them again and again, but obviously at some point you can't just keep layering. A lot of people have asked us, how do I remove color from my sustainable nails? So for instance, if you have, this is one of my ones from a previous live stream, this is rosette with a glaze over the top. If I've done this on my sustainable nails, but I want to reuse this, you can now use your Sistaco e-file to remove the color from your sustainable nails and start fresh. But when you're using it on your natural nails, you're using it just for your top coat and then jumping in with your erase pads. But you can use the e-file to take the color, which I will show you, off your sustainable nails, which actually allows you to then apply a new color over the top. And then you're getting, you don't have to do it the first time. So for instance, you can actually apply it to, apply a color and then go back in and apply another color. And then maybe when you get to like 2 applications, you want to go, okay, now I'm going to take a layer off. And that's what you would use this removal head for, is to take a layer off and then jump back in with another application. So it's allowing you to remove that color. The other thing I've been doing as well is obviously you get excess when you're taking color off, is I actually have now 2 pedestals. One pedestal is for collecting when I'm doing my removal on my sustainable nails, and I'll do it over my pedestal, and then I have my powder pedestal, or otherwise you can use, which is another option, your little cupcake solution. So basically you put a cupcake liner in here and then you take it out and then put a different one. So I'm doing my removal over my pedestal and I'm also using it for my application. I just have different cupcakes. Obviously I have 2 pedestals because they're so pretty. Okay, so basically what I'm going to showcase to you is what I mean about removal. So what you're going to do is you're going to take in, and like I said, you've got those adjustable settings to allow you to have the lower one and then going up to when you're feeling more confident with the usage. Okay, so let's start with Someone's asked, how do you clean? So you can just use, you know, soapy water to clean the head. Like I said, this is a ceramic head, so just soapy water. You don't obviously need to clean this part, so just the tip here, you can use just soapy water to clean that. But what I find is you don't really have too much mess on them because of the ceramic. It sort of just slides away. Okay, so someone asked, are you going to be selling replacement parts? Yes, in the future we will have replacement parts. At the moment, just so you know, I didn't even show you the cute little packaging. So all of your heads come in this cute little box. So if you are traveling, you don't have to take, like say for instance, I mean, it's got 2 hours of use time, which is heaps. So if you actually ask, if you're taking it with you, what you can do is you can take out the pieces and pop them in your box. And they have little holders for each of the pieces. So let me show you what that looks like. So you just pop them in your little holders like so. You say, okay, I'm taking that one. I'm taking this one. I'm trying to do it backwards, so it's a little difficult. Obviously, ideally, you want to do it down. I want to take this one, etc., etc. And so that is your little box. I haven't filled it yet, but that's your little box. And you can take this and this with you when you're traveling. And that protects your heads and then also allows you to have obviously it comes in a box as well, which I have here, which is a really cute little box. If you do want to travel with it wherever you want to go, you can do that. Okay, so let's jump in to our removal. So a couple of things. It has directions on each side. So you've got to use it on a certain direction depending on the hand that you're working on. Let me just put this up here. Okay, and like I said, removal for sustainable nails, amazing, and removal of top coat. Now what have I done? Okay, I've taken this one. Okay, so when I turn it on, I'm going to start on low, but you can increase the speed, like I said, depending on how you're feeling about your application. Sometimes I find working on medium is probably what I would suggest as my favorite, but start on low to begin with and see how you're feeling. I'm just making sure that I'm giving you all of the correct information about the different heads. So we're working firstly with our ceramic cone. Okay, so let me show you can you actually see the screen on here? This is mine, so it's a bit messy. Can you see that? So it says L, which is for low, but it also can be for left or for forward, for left or right, depending on the way you think about it. And so when you turn it on first, it's going to be in your, and you can see, so the direction change button is here. So like I said, I can touch this at any time. And if I press it, no, you can, it's going to catch my hair. No, it's nowhere near my hair. You can actually press it. And if I press, I've turned up to medium. If I press this button here, you can see it'll take a moment to pause and then it will change direction. Can you hear that? Okay, cool. So let me just start it again. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to actually be removing facing towards my hand. So like I said, I knew this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to explain, but essentially when you're removing, I suggest to remove with your hand in a clutch position, and you always want to be going towards you. Now the thing with the head is you want it going in the opposite direction to the way that your hand is moving, okay? So if your hand is moving in this direction, you want the head to be going in the opposite direction to that movement. So if you move your hand around to this direction, you'd actually, if you don't change the direction of the head, instead of going down, now you're going to go up. So that's what I suggest for the corners. But when I'm doing my usual, now, very, very important when you are using this. And so Vicky, it doesn't touch your natural nails. It is only touching the top coats. You do not use this on your natural nails, this head especially. The others you can, but that's very much personal preference. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm trying to think of the best way. Maybe I'll show you on the nail I just did. Actually, let me show you the sustainable nails and I'll show you the process as well because it's easier for me to actually show you my thumb, this finger than my thumb. So like I said, I've got it set to low and I'm going to be moving it in the direction opposite to the way that I'm taking my hand. And I am just feathering, I'm feathering with my hand movements, but the way I want you to think about it is I want you to think that you're tickling your nail. Never, ever, ever, ever will you press with this. There is no need. The whole way that this is designed is it does all of the work for you. You do not need to press. So you're tickling your nail. Yes, it does. It comes with detailed instructions of each head. So you're tickling your nail basically, and I'm going to go down the middle and then I'm going to go to the side. So let me show you. And I can hold my hand like this. I like to hold my pinky finger just to rest, and that actually provides me, and again, I'm obviously doing this backwards, provides me with a little stability. So this also is doubling as showing you sustainable nails removal, okay? So all we're going to be doing is basically tickling. I am not applying, honestly, when I tell you my wrist is almost like a little bit, you know, I'm not applying any pressure whatsoever, and I'm tickling down the middle, or you can do it this way through the middle of your nail. So I'm tickling down and I'm going in one direction down my center of my nail, like so. Can you see that? And like I said, I'm not getting through to the base coat, which is on your nail. That is being removed with the erase pads, okay? So feathering down in one direction, and I'm just doing it very, very lightly, getting through this like so, okay? And then what I'm going to do when I turn it to the side is I'm actually going to be feathering in the other way. So if I was to do it, let's remember, if I changed my hand and I did it like this, then I'm going to do it upwards, not down. So that's the direction. I didn't apply top coat on my thumb. No, you're right, which is glad because I'm not going to do my thumb. You're right, I forgot the top coat. Okay, so basically like so, I'm going to get into my edges like this, and I find this really easy to get to my edges. So now you're going to see basically the color, and I'm only feathering. You're going to see the color that I have underneath, which is the Sustainables, but not through the base coat. So I'm not going through the base coat of that color. I'm actually just going through my top coat, but obviously because I'm doing Sustainables, you can go all the way down. You will be able to tell because you won't be able to see the nail. All you'll see is color. Does that make sense? So if I'm doing it on my natural nail, which I can show you on this side, all you'll see is color. Then when I want to do this side, I personally, and again, it's more difficult because I'm doing it backwards, but I personally find it easier to actually go and turn my hand this way and do it like so, but then I'm going to be pulling it towards me, no longer away, because the direction has changed. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that towards me, and again, I'm just feathering in the direction in which I'm trying to do, I hope you can see that, in the direction in which I'm trying to do my removal, okay? And that will take you down on a sustainable nail all the way to the bottom, like so. And I'm just going to change my direction to do this. And if I want to go the other way, I would change my direction to go down. I'm going to take questions in a second on this, but like I said, I'm showing you on a sustainable nail to take it back to the end, and I'm only ever going in one direction. I'm not going backwards and forwards because of the direction that I've set on the device, and I'm feathering it through anywhere that I can still see that there is, and taking it right back down to... Now, if you feel skipping, so you'll feel it like jump, that means that you're using it in the wrong direction. Change the direction. Skipping is like a really clear indication of the fact that you're moving in the opposite direction to how you should. And now if I want to increase my speed, if I feel like it's like catching, I should say, it means that my speed needs to go up. So I'm increasing my speed here and I'm going over, like I said. But again, when you're doing it on your natural nail, you are not doing it all the way down to your nail. So you don't have to worry because this never touches your nail. You are only doing it to your, through your top coat, okay? I'm going to stop and try and take some questions, but basically that's what you end up with, and I've missed the end bit, but if you want to keep going through the end, you're going to be able to then start with a new application of your base coat on your Sustainables, okay? All right, yes, there's a tutorial video of this on our website, just so you know, and yes, the live will be available later. This is available on our website. Okay, so that is how you do your removal. So like I said, you're not going to be applying through your, you're not going to be using this through your base coat. This head doesn't touch the nail. It's it is purely to apply your erase pads over the top. So this is my natural nail. I went through to the color, not through the color, to the color, which is very obvious. I'm going to jump in with my erase pads, pop that, wrap that over my nail and follow my same removal instructions, but you will be blown away with how easy removal is based on proper removal of your top coat, which is what you can use this for. There's absolutely no smell. No, definitely not. Okay, So let's showcase some of the other things that this incredible tool does. So the first thing is I love it obviously for removal, and that's what I think that most of you will end up using it for, to take away that top coat, but it's not all that it is. So we have all of these different heads that do different things. So let me tell you about some of them. And I knew that I wanted to show you this before I did my thumb, but anyway, basically this head here, which is beautiful and soft, actually is for usage to give you a high shine and a buff on the surface of your nail. Okay, so imagine I had a plain nail to work with. Let's work with Mandy. I think Mandy's stuck, by the way. I'm enjoying Mandy as a name. So working with Mandy with my buffing, essentially, and again, all of this is really smooth to touch. You basically just want to run over your natural nail, same thing, and it's going to actually give it a high shine. Sometimes maybe you don't want to use color. You can use that. That sneeze took me by surprise. You can use this for a high shine over your nail in the same way. It's just going to buff it and it will go a bit glossy, which is like that typical kind of glaze look on your nails. That's what you use the buffer here for. So basically you're going to run that down, and again, completely cordless, which I personally love. Run that down your nail and give your nail that high shine. So that is that head, and there's 2 of those in your pack. Taking that one off and jumping back into my next head. This would be one of my, probably my second favorite. I definitely still like, thank you. I definitely still like the removal one first, because I think that that's gonna help everyone a lot. But my second favorite would be our nail prep head, okay? And that is this one here that looks like so, okay? Now the great thing about it is that with this, you're going to find that your manicures are going to last longer. But again, we're not putting any pressure on the nail. You're allowing the e-file to do all of the work. So you're gently just tickling the nail with it. And what it's going to do is create a really great, but not like a really great soft surface for you to be able to apply your application. So I would use this on the nail. And then after that, let me show you. And then after that, what I would do is I would actually go in and with my prep pad and take it off with my prep pad. So all you use this for essentially is to create a, this is very soft by the way, like it's not rough on the nail, but it creates that surface that you need to actually adhere the mineral bond to your nails. So essentially what I mean by that is everything starts with a good foundation, not just at Sistaco, but also in life. And so what you need this for is to create that good foundation on your nail surface. And we've given you something that's really smooth and not going to actually cause you to, dig into your nail or anything like that. It's going to be a very soft buff, similar to how you use your file. And if you're happy using your file, great, you're filing over before you start. Now, this isn't needed for everyone. We have so many sisters that don't do anything like this and don't need to. But if you do find that you are wanting longer out of your mani, some people want to change their color more often than that. But if you want longer and you want it to stay forever and ever, you would use this essentially to actually create the perfect surface. Now, the other thing I think that's really good with this is you can use this as well to create a surface between your layers if you're trying to then like layer something else over the top. Again, it's all about creating a grippy surface that you can apply your mineral bond to, which is going to allow it to have something to grip. If you've got like a soft, shiny nail, or you've got like oil on your natural nails, you are going to have the mineral bond not be able to adhere in the way that you would like to your natural nail. That is what this head is for, and it's about just creating that surface that's going to be the best foundation to apply your product and have it stay. So that's that one. Let me see. I'm just going to check on the team if there's any other questions about that. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot on our website in relation to the I'm just looking at questions. You can change the way it's rotating. Yes, so there's different directional settings. The instructions there. The website has a lot of information about the different heads. I'll show you what the booklet looks like as well. So it looks like so you can see all of the different heads and what they actually do. This next one, I was so blown away with how much I actually liked it. And that is the, I don't know, what's the official name? The round ball. That's what I was going to call it as well. So the round ball. Now, this is for cuticle care. Let me read the exact wording. So for cleaning up dead skin, cuticles, and hangnails. This blew me away. We were doing training with the team last week on how to actually use this, and I was walking them through, and I was doing it on my natural nails, showing them how to actually apply. And it blew me away with one thing that I absolutely am obsessed with, and that is how to actually prepare the cuticle line. Now, if you, and I see this a bit as well, a lot of people will use a file to prep their nails and they get really good longevity, but then they get lifting at the cuticle base, which is where essentially your nail meets the application of mineral bond meets the cuticle. This is going to take all of that away. Again, it's all about tickling the nail. It's never about any pressure from your hand. And what you do, let me just show you on here, is you actually use this head here, okay, to apply it over the cuticle section like so. But what you're doing as well, obviously I've got an application on, so it's going to lift it. But what you're doing is you're actually creating a very, very fine file on that section, okay, similar to a prepping. And that actually, first of all, it's going to make your cuticles look amazing. But it actually gives you a very light, like when I say light, you can see this is almost like a massage. It gives you a very light file in that area and allows you to actually have something that's going to stop any cuticle forward lifting of your application. So I am obsessed with this for that, but also it's going to allow you to clean up any of the you know, we all get that like dead skin area. It's going to clean up, we'll get Mandy out of the way. It's going to clean up all of that, and you are just going to apply it to, like I said, that area at the base of your nail. And this is going to be about giving yourself the manicure. And let me show you how much more nail I get, because obviously I've just applied my, I'll show you in a second. I've just applied my application, and I would have thought with that application that I was pretty much at my nail base of how much length I could get. It elongates your fingers, okay? But look at this. When I show you this, you're gonna be like, look how much more nail I have just created by just taking away. And like I said, I didn't do this prior because I really wanted you to see the effect of this. Have a look at this. Can you see on an application that I'm going to show Instagram in a second, don't worry, I'm coming. Can you see on an app, oh, it's not focusing. On an application I've just done, how much more of my nail I've created? Also, just so you know, see this here? I sliced my finger 2 weeks ago. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to do this live. I sliced my finger, ignore this, with a razor blade. I was taking something off my windows and I just went like this. Anyway, so just ignore my nice little scar that's developing there. It doesn't really make me a great hand model, but I'm doing my best. When I saw it, I was like, my career's over. I'm gonna have to find another job. So that is the nice little beauty scar that I have there. And honestly, it wouldn't stop bleeding. It was so scary. I was like, I'm gonna die. It just kept bleeding because I don't know, it must have got something funny. But anyway, ignore that. Okay, so you can see how much more I've created there in space. And here we go, Instagram. You can have a look there, try and get that to focus. How much more space I've created. But like I said, it's not just about cleaning up your cuticles and giving yourself a nice mani. It's also about giving you that slightly buffed surface right down to the end. So when you go in with your base coat, I am telling you, the amount of difference in longevity from cuticle forward that you are going to get is going to blow your mind. It truly is giving you that very, very soft buff that you need, because this is very gentle, and any cuticle forward lifting, forget it. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't cut my finger off. You know what? Me too. I did think it was going to happen for a while. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning and I was just holding it being like, and then, you know, when you take it off and it's still bleeding and you think, no, I've really done it this time. But anyway, it finally stopped bleeding after about an hour. Okay, so yes, like I said, using that one, let me turn this back on. Using that one for around that cuticle area is going to give you beautiful elongated nails, but also give you that nice cuticle finish that you want, which makes you look like you have had a professional manicure. I hope that you can see that and what I've done there. Amazing. Okay, so that is that one. And I want to say, I'm going to be really honest, I think this is my favorite, apart from removal, because I think that this really has given me, like I said, longer looking nails, which I like, because I didn't actually realize how much like that cuticle area that I had that I didn't need, but also it's going to help with any of that lifting. Okay, jumping in to our last one, and this is actually our, I didn't take this one off. This is actually our flame. So this flame here, it looks like so, is actually going to give you a really, again, we're focusing on removal. We're focusing on nails just looking shiny and glossy with this one. We're focusing on giving ourselves manicures. We're focusing on longevity. And when I say focusing, this is the tool that does it all. This is the tool that will make your nails shiny. This is the tool that will help remove your mineral bond in like so easily to get rid of that first top coat, not down to the nail, remember? And this is the tool that's going to allow you to have the longevity that you want based on prepping your nails correctly. And now we have two heads for giving yourself a nice looking manicure as if you went to the salon. Now, I will say something about this head for removal, which I forgot to say earlier. You may have noticed when you are at the salon, which we've talked about this many times, they will use the removal all the way down to the nail. That is what we're saying. We do not want that to be happening. That is what's causing, because this is purely for top coat removal and then jump in with your erase pads. We do not want you using this, and that's why, because obviously, you know, they have to get you in and out the door as quickly as possible. In a lot of cases, not all cases, but in a lot of cases, sometimes people will say the drills, the filing that they do at the salon is causing their nails to be damaged, and that's because they take this file and they just go, let's get this off right down to the base. Whereas what you should be doing is taking your time, swapping your heads, using another form of removal rather than just filing it off all the way down to the bottom. This is too harsh for your natural nails. We only want it to take away the top coat, then you still have color and base coat between. Erase pads, get rid of that, you're done, you're walking out the door. Okay? All right, so this is your flame, and this is going to help you remove any dead tissue at that cuticle area, and it will also allow you to lift those cuticles. So again, I've pretty much in this live mainly been using this on low. Yes, someone just said, will this help with removal with the hub? Absolutely. So use your removal tip, this one here, and then after that, maybe you do that while your hub is warming, and then pop your hands in the hub, watch your TV, and then it's going to just completely come off and you're ready for a new mani. I love that. Thank you for reminding me. So yes, it doesn't have to just be your erase pads. If you do your top coat removal while your hub is warming up, then pop your nails in the hub and you're ready to go. Okay, so with the flame, what you're going to do, and again, I've got this on very low, is you're just going to take that under that area and again, very, very lightly. Now, this I love as well because it gives me a little bit of dead tissue removal that I have in that area. And I'm honestly not putting, there is no pressure in my hand. It's almost floppy, but enough to just hold it. I'm holding this like a pen. I don't want to see people holding it like this. I'm holding it like a pen, like I would, so I've got full grip on it, but it's not in any way any pressure. I'm not doing any pressure. I'm just allowing it to lightly lift up that area, and again, remove any of that, and you can use it down the sides, getting rid of any of those that dead tissue, that kind of build up that you get. Oh my gosh. I wish I could show you this closer. I feel like I'm leaning as far as I physically can. And you can see all of my grays as well at the same time. I wanted to go brunette, and then I went brunette, and I was like, oh, I can see my grays now. The blonde was really hiding that. So you can see I'm going into my edges with that, and I'm actually, you can go up and under like so. And same thing on this side, I'm going under, which is giving me that nice manicured finish on my nail, and I'm taking out any of that, those dead cells. Can you see that? I hope you can see that well. It's kind of hard because I have these big lights on my face. Okay, so that is our last head. So like I said, let's go through them start to finish. We've got red for removal. We've got buffing, which is this soft little felty. We've got nail prep, which is the tapered barrel, and we have our ball, which is going to get you cleaning up any of your dead skin and hangnails on your cuticles and give you that elongated nail finish. And then we have the last one, which I was just trying to find in here. I'm like, where is it? I've lost it. Is our flame to get up under and take away any of that dead skin. Okay, so yeah, exactly. I'm reading people saying that that the salons were using a similar product, although the RPMs would be very high, to actually remove all the product down to the nail. No. We don't want that. We are going to only use the removal head to take away the top coat, and then use your typical removal options, but you don't have to sit there then filing off your top coat, which can take time depending on how many layers. And you also don't have to do any of that. You're just going to pop it straight in your traditional form. If you don't have our nail grips, by the way, which I definitely should have referenced, I am hearing like rave reviews about these. And so essentially all you do is take your erase pad, pop it over the nail, and then you actually squeeze this on. And everyone has been saying this has been making such a difference. I'm going to be honest with you, with the erase pads, how tight you actually use this little, it's so hard because it's reflecting off the lights that I have in here. I'm like a deer in headlights. How tight you actually hold this onto the nail makes a huge difference to effectiveness. And so obviously we're not there with you to like hold it tight, but you have to put this really, really tight around the nail. And we realize sometimes depending on the nail you're doing, or if you've already got them on this hand, that can be more difficult to get really tight. And that's why this basically, all you do, they open up, they're adjustable, which is really cool. All you do is pop your nail in like so, and then you're just going to actually squeeze it. So the nail grip's in there too, and you're going to give it a squeeze. Did you hear that? And that's going to actually do the work for you, holding it close to your nail. The closer that this sits on your nail when you're doing your removal, the more effective your removal is. If it's loose and you just sort of slotted your hands in there and you didn't actually squeeze it really tight, it's not going to be as effective. So use this, which is going to take about like infinite amount of time off your top coat removal, do all your nails, then jump in with your nail grips, which we have, I think, in all countries now, and pop that on with your erase pads, or otherwise pop your hands in your removal hub, and you are ready for your other application. Okay, thank you for the demonstration. What can I answer? What questions can I answer? What if you have several coats of color or glazes and there are several top coats? How do you know that you're through the layers? So it's really hard to explain that, but it is also really, really easy to see when you're down to the base coat. Remember that, or when you're down to the last color. Firstly, obviously, you know what the last color is. I did a removal actually on my, I used this yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I can't remember what day it is. Yesterday, to remove what I was wearing on this hand when I did my live stream. But the reason, just so you know, that I wear sustainable nails in a lot of our live streams when I'm showing new products is because I type all day on the computer and I like my nails slightly shorter. You probably saw my natural nails the other day. They are long, but they're slightly shorter because of my typing than this. And I find when I'm launching a new color, there's something, this is the precision edge I forgot to take off from before. When they're slightly shorter, I find that you don't get to see the color as well. So I'm showing you on sustainables for the amount of color you can see on the nail. But, this is my natural nail and it's still, well past my skin, you can see. But essentially, I use this tool, the removal head, to remove that mani, this is still the thumb from it. I left that to show you layering of the mani I was wearing in my last live, which was only like about 48 hours ago. And it was just so easy to do. I just took it straight off with this and then I popped it straight in. I use my erase pads, but again, I could also use my removal hub as well. Okay, what color am I wearing? This is Purple Prism, just launched today by popular demand. Okay, so I've shown you the nail grips. Oh, sorry, I just realized I got distracted on what I was trying to say. I looked back and I was like, that didn't even answer the question. I just went on a bit of a tangent. I was like, what's the question again? And I thought I covered it, but I didn't. So because I had multiple layers, I knew that I had, where did that go? Oh, over here, wow. I knew that I had guava underneath my Purple Prism. So what I actually did was when I was using my removal tool, I could actually see when I was down to the guava because the color on top was different. So by the time I got rid of all of the Purple Prism, I was like, okay, I see the guava, if that makes sense. Now, if for whatever reason you do have a situation where you're like, oh, I'm not sure, obviously just because you've got through the color on one section and you may see clear nail, doesn't mean that's your natural nail, but obviously we want you to err on the side of caution. And so essentially what that means is you may be to your base coat, which is fine because the base coat's still there. But again, we're not using it to actually remove the whole nail unless you're doing your sustainables. So if you're doing sustainables, you can take them off your hands. I obviously showed you here on my hand, but take them off. I've got my removal head on. Let me just push that in a bit more. I think I didn't push it down. Got my removal head on. You can change the direction, or you can see, and like I said, you're gonna get more use. That skipped, so I know I've got the wrong, yeah, so you're gonna get more use essentially out of your sustainables. This has multiple colors on it. This has multiple, I need a drink actually. I've realized I've been talking so much, my throat's so dry. Okay, so this has multiple colors on it. You can see it has a glaze over it. So I'm heading in one direction, not both, and I can clearly see what I'm taking off actually with that. I'm just trying to work out yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going through the middle first, like so. But again, if this was on my natural nails, I would change the way that I was actually doing this, but I'm working opposite. And like I said, I'm using my pedestal to actually do this, and I'm taking my color right back, and I'm feathering. There is no pressure coming from my hand. I am feathering it back like so. Doesn't matter if you go over the spot a few times, as long as you don't put any pressure on. But obviously, the more you increase this, the more you're going to find that it's easier. But we've put it on like a low for a training, but I really would suggest that everyone uses it on medium. I think that's the best way. And I'm actually taking this off. This has been on for a really long time too, so you can kind of see it coming off in like pieces. But this is how I would actually remove from my sustainables if that's what you want to do. You don't have to be anywhere near as obviously careful when you're removing on sustainables than I want you to be when you're using it to remove on your natural nails, okay? So I can see now that I've pretty much got through that top coat, and I'm going in one direction all the way, and underneath I can clearly see that the glaze is gone and I'm down to just the rosette. And that's when I would jump in with my, obviously not for sustainables, but you know, if it was my natural nail, I'd be jumping in with my erase pads or jumping in with my, my removal hub as our other options for removal, like so. This just takes away, and I can see I can easily get through the color. But if I'm wanting, so now I'm like, okay, this is sustainables, I can go through the whole color. Just keep going in one direction. And I like to use the middle of this. So I'm going through the middle, like so. And you'll be able to see that I'm now down to, I actually don't know, because I had this in my drawer from a previous live stream. I have no idea what color sustainables these are, but you can see that I'm prepping them for a new application. Let me show you what half of it looks like to give you an idea. 1 second, because I've done half now. And I'm using the middle, but I'm not pressing. Feather, 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 feather. Imagine that, feather, feather, feather. I want you to be thinking, I'm tickling these nails. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Does anyone's parents ever do that to them? Tickle, tickle, tickle. My parents did. Okay, so you can see I've got the removal on half, and then this side isn't, so I'll just keep going. Okay. Easy? Would you consider making Sistaco merch? I really think I need a. I can't read the rest of that. Why? I want to know what merch you think you need. Hang on. Where did that, oh no, the comments move so fast. No, I've lost it, sorry. But I'll look back at what merch you feel you need, and we'll put it on the vision board. We don't have any merch plans, just so you know. So if you think your Sistaco t-shirt's on the way, you are sorely mistaken. Although, that would give me something cool. Someone said, I think I've already mentioned this, I don't remember if I just did in my head, but someone said to me, like, Chantal wears the same dress every live stream, and I have multiple of these dresses. This is a slightly different one, just so you know, but it looks the same. Cool. All right, I think that is a lot of the questions I've already covered. Like I said, if I'm doing a recap, let me do a recap. We have our amazing Precision Edge back. It is latex free. It is no smell. I nearly put my nose straight into that. No smell, and it is for applying on your skin, around your nails, and then peeling off when it's dry to help you with your nail application. But it has a wide tip and a fine tip, which looks like so for getting into those really cheeky spots. That is our precision edge. We also have the beautiful purple Prism color that has now launched on our website in full size. I've lost it. Here it is, full size. That is our purple Prism. We have our amazing Sistaco wireless little stand for it, which I can see in your little nail areas. I know it sits proudly in mine and has for a while. Our wireless e-file, which has just launched with a 5-in-1 functionality. So you have a head for removal, red for removal. I think you probably know the R for removal part. It's not first grade. We have our buffing, we have our nail prep head, we have our flame for dead skin removal, and we have our ball for removing for cuticles and preparing that base area, which will help you if you experience any lifting. So excited about this one, and I hope the education that I've showed you is helpful. Obviously, there is website videos and things like that, and we will definitely be doing lots more education about how to use the wireless e-file. This was a heavily requested product, but again, I implore you to please use it following the directions that we have told you, and I'm going to repeat it again, and I'm going to sound like a broken record. You're not using this to remove your whole nail, and you're also being very, very light with your hand. You're holding it like a pen, and you're taking away your top coat, and you also are never, ever, ever putting pressure on your nail with this. Start it in low when unsure. As you build your confidence, you can increase your speed, but we turn the low lower so that you can have it really, really low so you can start to use it in a way. But like I said, this is doing all the work. Your hand should be doing no work except just holding it there, and we are tickle, 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 tickle. That is the intention. So when you're doing your nails and you're using this, I want you to just hear me in your head going tickle, 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 tickle. And hopefully that'll remind you. Next time when we do our next run of these, I think I'm going to put like a little speaker in it, and every time you turn it on, no, I'm just kidding. Imagine that. Every time you turned it on, it's just me going tickle, 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 tickle. I'm sure you'd all throw it in the bin. All right, fine. I'll leave the product team to do the product ideas. I'll just do this part. It is rechargeable USB, so you plug it in here. It's Samsung phone charger, and then it will light up being like, I'm charging like a phone. Okay. So, I need a Sistaco coffee cup was what you asked. I need a Sistaco coffee cup. Okay, all right. Thanks for the suggestion. But imagine that, I wouldn't need this water. I'd be able to actually have my Sistaco coffee as I drink. I would love that. Okay. So someone's asked, I need a pink pedestal. I love the marble. Why do you want it to be pink? The marble's so cute. I don't think we could do a pink pedestal. By the way, if anyone does that, I just take this off if you have bits and then flip it and then tap, just so you know. The marble is what makes it heavy, and the reason that it needs to be heavy is because it actually provides that sturdy surface for your nails. And yes, that is why we have it in the marble and not pink. Oh, now we need a t-shirt that says tickle, tickle, tickle. Yes. Maybe that's what I'll do instead of the little speaker. We'll put it to the team. Yeah, USB-C rechargeable. So just plug it in, and it's 2 hours of use, which you're never going to use. So like I charge mine like hardly ever, to be honest. Sistaco gin glass. Sistaco water bottle. All right. I'm reading, these are some hilarious suggestions. I love them all. Someone asked me when the elixir will be available. I believe in about a week it will be available, which is really exciting. Amazing. So all of these products are available on the website now. They do have a little bit of different, dispatch date. So please check. I believe that some of them are in within a week or 10 days, just so you know. So that will be written in the description page, depending on your warehouse. There are a lot of products that people are suggesting that we are definitely listening to, and some things that some people have said in the comment section you may see in the next 6 months. But just so you know, that wasn't a Sistaco hoodie, a Sistaco coffee mug, a Sistaco cup, a Sistaco t-shirt that says tickle, tickle, tickle. None of those things were on the list, but they're there now. Oh, they're there. Trust me. In fact, today they gave me a pen. 1 second. tickle. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, all of these things pretty much are in the pipeline that you've referenced. Pink sleeves for the pedestal. I don't know what that means. What's a pink sleeve? Silver glint back in stock in the UK. Not on the immediate agenda. I'm so sorry. The glints in the UK sold out really fast. I don't think that we will have them maybe for the rest of the year, but don't quote me on that. A lot of things in my head for sure. Hi, Jovi. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Sharon said a shirt that says, ask me about my nails. And then you can be like, yep, I did them myself. All right. Thank you so much. How much time? Oh yeah, I always find that I get to this point around the same time. I like that idea, Janet. That's a good one too. Yes, I've decided on Mandy for my friend, who I didn't end up even using very much today. But Mandy, she's got a very, very wonky finger. Mandy will be coming back for more live demonstrations, and she has been over here just like keeping me in line. She's like, stop promising things that you can't keep. No, I'm kidding. So Mandy's here as emotional support, and I love her. Thank you Denise for suggesting that her name should be Mandy. I think that it's better than any name I could have ever thought of. And even prior, I tried like Mandy's hands under the light, and she was like very accommodating, which was lovely. So really appreciate Mandy's time today to be with us. She's taken time out of her busy schedule, and after this she'll be on live chat. So if you have any questions, expect Mandy to be replying. She's got a full day planned of getting all of your orders out. After that, she's going to pack orders. She's going to be sending out all of the goodies. So yes, Mandy's booked and busy. Don't worry. Thank you so much for your orders as well. Let me know, have you ordered already? I know that a lot of things sell out quickly, especially obviously Purple Prism. We're a bit like, know that one's going to be really, really popular. But yes, if you have ordered our new e-file, I cannot wait for you to get it and use it for your removal, for your prep, to just have shiny nails. If you've ordered our Precision Edge, are you happy to see it back? I know that we had so many people requesting this. And I think, like I said, the latex free, the no smell, and the 2 tips just make it so, so good to use. And I love, like I said, that we got the formula perfect, that it comes off all in one, and is really, really easy. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your orders as well. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Stephanie. You are incredible. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Shelley. Yes, and orders do not come with Mandy. So just so you know, don't expect her. She's mine, and that's where she's going to remain. I think she could be a little bit more realistic. I was having this conversation yesterday, but it is what it is. All right. It was so lovely to see everyone, especially so soon since my last live. I have really loved spending time with you, and I hope that you are happy now that Purple Prism is here. Like I said, we always try to listen and do what we can, and this was one that the team was just like, Chantel, they're just not gonna give up. So we are very happy. And by the way, we have I know that someone's already seen this and said, but we have new mystery samples as well. So I know that there's been a couple of posts about that, but if you are ordering, I think in all warehouses, I'm not sure about the UK off the top of my head, but I know in Australia and the US, Canada, Singapore, New Zealand, if you're ordering over the threshold, then you are getting more mystery sachets. So you are going to absolutely love them. Cannot wait for you to see those new colors, and bye. Thank you. Purple Prep Liquid will be back in the UK, I believe, in about a month. Thank you for Purple Prism. No, thank you for loving it so much. We really appreciate that. And I will speak to you all soon. Okay, bye.